So happy Christmas, and went to a service last night that was talking about how we've lost the sense of Christmas in commercialism, etc. And of course, you know, who would disagree with something like that? And yet saying that the true reason of Christmas is because Jesus was born, and he meant the human being Jesus. And I did a little bit of research, and it's not really likely. They went to Jerusalem or Nazareth for it's only 6 miles away, for a census. Unlikely they did a census in the winter. More likely they did a census when there were festivals, which was either in spring or autumn, and that the ones in spring had celebrations, and they killed lambs for that, which is probably why shepherds would be around, and shepherds probably would not have been around, hanging around the fields, while shepherds watch their flocks by night, probably would not have happened in the winter. So what am I trying to say? That there is no Father Christmas at Christmas? No, the exact opposite. I'm trying to say the exact opposite of what that minister said last night, which was Christmas time, he said, is not about Father Christmas, it's about Jesus being born. And it's like, no, not for me. It's the exact opposite. Father Christmas does exist. So, is it a coincidence we've just gone through the solstice? Probably not. Is it a coincidence I have no light on my face? Probably not. Let's turn it into more light. Now we're going into a bit more truth. Holly's in the background, sounding good looking, pagan times. And I think it warded off the evil spirits. So, is it a coincidence we've just gone through the solstice? No. Did Christians and Romans, let's say, try and squash out all religion that wasn't under their control, and that there were pagan religions on the solstice? Yes. Has anyone ever been to South America and they have Jesus there with the heart shining out of a sun? Because the only way they could convert the, let's keep calling them pagans, but they're just people who were in contact with reality of nature, was by saying that he was Inti, the sun god. And Jesus has the same story in his life as the other sun gods. We're not going to go there. We're talking about Father Christmas. It's just taken a long time to get there. So, there are times in life that are very easy, and there are times in life that are very hard. And we all know that. And though we pretend not, because we Photoshop our lives on Facebook and tell everyone how brilliant we are. But no one really puts photographs of themselves up covered in snot, do they? And we have been doing an awful lot of services at the moment, carol services, and I really like them. Well, I have got a bit drained from the same old. And the most beautiful one has been the one we did in the prison. There was a guy who stood up there, a minister. There are lots of ministers because they have a minister per religion, including a pagan one, which is kind of amazing because no one believes in the pagan stuff any longer because it's been plastered over by all the others. This guy was a good guy though. He was a really great guy. And he stood him up in front of the prisoners and us in the band and said, "We're in a solstice now, and it's a time of darkness. It's hard to get through these days. In England we have 7 hours and 50 minutes only of sun, which is 8 hours and 50 minutes less than in the summer. And it is a time when we go inwards. And we go in and see what we have done, and we are riddled with guilt. We have to face the guilt of what we have done. Imagine that in a prison. Those people have been caught doing something bad. We have all done stuff. We're all humans. And the feeling in there, that feeling of going into the dark bits within us and facing it. They were so brave. Those prisoners are so brave. They do what lots of us just don't do. They face what they have done. And I was actually really moved by it. And that's what Christmas is. Christmas is the darkest time of the year. And yet, says the minister, it's a time when we see that hope is underneath all darkness. The light is in potential within all darkness. We only have to do that, see that by, we go into a room that's dark. We don't have to scramble and fight against the dark. We simply have to shine. We have to turn on the light. We turn on the light, there's no dark any longer. Turn on the candle, turn on the fluorescent light, turn on the light in our hearts. There's hope everywhere. And now we get to Father Christmas. Father Christmas is in a good spot. You know, summertime, and the living is easy. Up there, in the skies. You know, a time when you don't need to change anything because everything is just in balance. And yet eventually we all know, even when we're in this most solid of places, when we are cruising, they're actually some of the most dangerous times because we don't attend